David.
And what can I do for you, Pat?
I've come about the wedding. There are a few problems I'd like to iron out.
I don't see there are any problems.
Oh, there won't be. Not if you're reasonable.
Don't think you can walk in and take over. This is one time you're not going to get your own way.
We'll see.
Angela and Rob want their wedding here. If you don't like it, too bad.
Hold it, Beryl. I think we should at least listen to why Pat wants a change.
Thank you. Every mother wants her daughter to have a proper wedding. I just think Angela should have the best.
We can give it to her.
On quite the same scale?
We can give her as much as you.
Oh, I know Fiona's helping with the money side of things. I meant more the style Angela's used to.
We know what you meant.
And if we have to talk about money, how do you think Gordon feels? Fiona's helping to pay for the wedding, and she's the one who tried to ruin us. That fact alone could make it a very unhappy day.
Only if you let it.
Everybody seems to have forgotten Gordon's feelings. He's been more of a father to her than you ever were.
Oh, come off it, Pat.
I'm sorry, David, but that's the way I see it. He brought her up, paid for her schooling, loved her, and then you came along. But all those years mean a great deal to him.
You don't care about Gordon or Angela. You just want to have a big social do.
All the arrangements have been made. It's going to be hard to change them now.
That's how I feel. It's where I'm staying. If you change your mind, you can phone me there. But I'm telling you now, you have a choice. If the wedding's in Sydney, it'll probably be the happiest day of Angela's life. But if you insist on having it down here, I'll make sure it's the most miserable.
You're a long while putting the bin out.
Been thinking.
Come up with any answers?
Knowing Patricia, she said she's going to do it. She will. Well, it's going to come off the worst as Angie, and I don't want to have to put her through that. Not when we can stop it by letting the wedding be held up there.
You let Patricia get away with it just like that?
What difference does it make?
All the difference in the world, David. She's your daughter as well as Patricia's. You have every right to want to have the wedding here. All it needs is for you to stand up to her.
I can stand up to her all right. Can't see the point, though, if all it does is make sure the wedding's spoiled.
You'll be giving in.
I'm trying to be sensible. Oh, I don't know. You got to sit quietly and think. I mean, you can't make your mind up in 2 minutes.
First time you didn't.
Arguing isn't going to help. Now, if Patricia could see us now, she would have a field day.
She will anyway, if you change your mind.
Hello?
David, it's me.
Oh, hi.
How are you all?
Fine.
I just rang to tell you Mother's okay about the wedding.
Oh, good.
Well, I know how you feel. I was half expecting her to stack on a term, but I'm glad she didn't. Don't think I could have taken much more. We nearly did something stupid.
Who's we?
Rob and I. I couldn't handle all the hoo-ha. We were going to elope. Mother stopped it, though. She came back just as we were about to sneak out.
You're kidding.
No, really. Oh, it was all getting me down. Anyway, let's hope there'll be no more arguments.
Yeah, let's hope. It's a good thing you didn't elope. A lot of people looking forward to the wedding.
Oh, so are we, but I just want to get it over with. Has Mother called you? She's down in Melbourne on business.
Where is she staying?
At James Shepherd's house.
Might give her a call.
Well, she'd love to hear from you. Tell you all about her trip. How are the arrangements going? Is everything okay with the reception place?
Yeah, we sent the deposit away yesterday.
Oh, good. Well, I better go now. Send my love to Beryl.
Yeah, the same to you. Bye.
What was all of that about eloping?
Rob and Angela are going to. They're sick of the arguments. Well, Patricia's not going to muck it up. She can have the wedding in Sydney. I'll get her around tomorrow to sort it out.
David.
I've made up my mind, Beryl.
It's going to look a bit funny, changing things at the last minute. Angela and Rob will be suspicious.
I'll think of some excuse.
Well, you'd better make it good enough to satisfy Fiona, too. She won't be happy. Not after offering to lend you the money.
Oh, that was really beautiful, Fiona.
Well, there's no need to sound so surprised.
It was.
Well, thank you. I had planned to have takeaway, but, you know who would have given me the rounds of the kitchen.
Spot on.
See how bossy she is?
Well, somebody has to be. I mean, aren't you proud that you've actually cooked a meal? In person?
As long as the guests are happy, that's all that matters. You two have got a lot in common. Well, for a start, you both like chicken and apricots. That's a good enough reason to ask you out for dinner one night. Anyone for sweets?
You're due for a rest. You've been doing all the work.
Nice girl.
Yes. I know what you're up to. Rather you didn't.
Just thought it'd be nice if you two got to know each other.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I don't think that's a good idea. John's pretty keen, I know. And I don't want to upset things for him.
Oh, Johnny's given up.
Oh, I don't think so. He asked me to lay off. Thought I was moving in on him.
Well, did he now?
I thought you weren't hungry.
I'm not, but I better eat something.
Oh, I bet you stuffed yourself at the picnic.
Not really.
How was it?
That was all right.
Paul enjoy himself?
He and Jill spent so much time together, I might as well not have been there.
Jealous.
Well, I organised the whole thing so Jill and I could be by ourselves, and she invites him along.
You're pretty keen on her, aren't you?
Yeah. I reckon I know how you felt. When I first found out about us, being brother and sister, and you didn't, the way I backed off.
Yeah. It was a funny time. I couldn't figure it out.
The same with me and Jill. I can't figure her out.
You're as bad as me. Always falling for the wrong people.
At least one of us doesn't have to worry anymore. You got Rob.
Any more coffee?
No.
Sorry. I was a bit obvious, wasn't I? I just thought maybe you were lonely and don't know anybody in Sydney, and I thought you could do with some company. James always worried about you being on your own.
I'm used to it. That's the way I like it. Granddad never really understood. I'm sorry I've been acting so mysterious. Okay. I've been studying to be a priest. My mother always hoped I'd join the priesthood, and Granddad didn't agree.
James always was stubborn.
The one thing he couldn't accept was the church.
What?
Oh, no, not the church. Me and the church. He thought my mother had pushed me. I tried to tell him it was my choice, but he never believed it. And when I started training to be a priest, well, we didn't see much of one another.
It's a pity James didn't know you changed your mind before he died.
I haven't.
Oh?
I'm just taking time out to see if it's what I really want to do.
What caused the doubts?
It's a big step. I want to make sure I'm doing the right thing. When Granddad told me he was dying, he asked for one last thing. He asked me to bum around for a while, cut off from the seminary, have a look at life before I made a decision.
So that's what you were doing in America?
It was his last wish.
How's it going?
I don't know. I thought coming to Sydney would help sort it out. With some of the things that have happened, though, I honestly don't know.
Can I get you anything, Pen?
No, thank you. I won't be staying long.
I'll leave you both to it then. I've got some things to do in the kitchen.
Okay, love.
Seeing as you're both being so sensible about it, I thought the least I could do was pay your fares to Sydney.
We can pay our own way.
Whatever you like.
There are a few things I'd like to say up front, though. Okay, I've gone along with you to have the wedding in Sydney, but I still want to give Angela away.
You'll have to talk to Gordon about that. He may not like it.
Tough. That's the way I want it. The other thing's Fiona. She's been very good to us. She's offered to help us out. Oh, I know you two don't get on, but don't think you can push her back in the background. She's got to be a part of it.
Again, Gordon may not like it, but I suppose we have to make some concessions.
Right.
I may not be able to get everything organized and still keep the original date. I might have to put it back a week.
I don't mind. Angela mind.
You'll have to talk to her.
Why me?
She listens to you.
How am I going to explain it to her?
It's up to you, as long as she's happy about the change. After all, keeping Angela happy is the reason we're both agreeing, isn't it?
Morning, Jill.
Hi. Hi, Jill. Hi. Can I talk to you?
Sure.
Can we go inside?
Yeah. Back in a minute.
You shouldn't be doing that, should you? Rosie told me about your rib.
Aren't you supposed to be weeding the garden? Okay, you told me so.
I'd like to talk to you. I've just called a taxi, Beryl. I'm on my way to the airport.
It won't take long.
All right. I thought we'd said all we had to say this morning. If you've changed your mind about the wedding again, I'm afraid it's too late. I've already rung Gordon and told him David will be in touch.
No, everything's the same. David's made up his mind. It'd be a waste of time trying to get him to change it.
Then why are you here?
David doesn't know. He probably wouldn't like it. There are just a few things I'd like to say to you before you go back to Sydney.
Be my guest.
I'd never put my children's happiness on the line to get my own way. But I'm different to you. The only reason David's agreed to it being in Sydney is because he doesn't want to see Angela hurt anymore. So don't feel too smug. You don't give a damn about the wedding. All you want to do is get back at David and me.
You've really got quite a chip on your shoulder, Beryl.
I know I'm right. You've never got over the fact that he came back to me. That's your problem.
I could have given him a lot more than you. I still can. That's what really worries you.
Not anymore. You haven't got a hope of getting him back now.
Is that a challenge?
Everything has to be a fight with you, doesn't it?
There's no fight if there's no competition.
If it's competition you want, I've got 20 years of marriage. I'm carrying his baby. And he loves me. You haven't got a hope in hell against that. So I wouldn't waste my time trying. I guess that's really all I came to say.
Gordon?
In the study.
Oh, I'm glad to be home. Could do with a drink.
Bad trip?
Oh, the trip was all right. I was just glad to get out of Melbourne.
Did your southern friends hear you say that?
If you mean the Palmers, I couldn't care less. You've no idea how rude they were.
Really?
Oh, it was like a catfight trying to get them to change their minds.
I gather it's still on?
Yes, I was able to convince them, but not without making a few concessions.
Anything too drastic?
I'm afraid so. Believe me, Gordon, I tried, but there was no hope of convincing them otherwise.
What?
David feels he should be the one to give Angela away.
Oh.
If there'd been a way out, I would have taken it.
Can't say I'm pleased about it.
Of course you aren't. But they made it very clear if we didn't go along with them, they'd make things as difficult as they could for Angela. I can't risk having her day ruined.
Can they even think of spoiling it for her?
I don't know. But there was no choice.
A good trying to call their bluff, I suppose.
There is one big advantage you have, of course, and that is that the wedding's here, on our home ground. That's going to mean a great deal to Angela.
True. I suppose there is that. You said there were a couple of points.
Yes, the other one has to do with Fiona.
Daddy, are you home?
What's the matter?
Oh, I was just at the stud and I was talking to Alan.
Oh, yes?
Well, I invited him to the wedding, but he said he couldn't come because he had to go to Woomba to work for the new owner. He said the new owner's Fiona Thompson.
Yes, that's right.
Why did you keep it a secret?
Because I didn't want anything to come out until after the wedding. It's an important day for you. With people taking sides and squabbling. I was really only thinking of you.
Your father was right, darling. David and Beryl feel very strongly about Fiona coming to the wedding. There's no way she won't be here. That's just what I was about to tell you.
What?
I know it's not going to be easy, but we'll just have to do our best to make her feel welcome, that's all.
Oh, count me out. If they want to hear, fine, but I won't be talking to her. I think you're too soft.
I agree with you, darling. That's what I've been trying to tell him.
The main thing is the day goes smoothly.
Couldn't agree more, which is why we should be concentrating on getting things done.
We've decided to stick with the same date.
Heavens, we'll have to get our skates on. Tomorrow's going to be a big day. Quite frankly, Fiona should be the last of our worries.
Nice to see you both up so early. I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
There's an old song like that, isn't there, Rosie?
I suppose I'm just getting a bit too excited. Look what I found, though. You like it?
It's great, Rosie. Do you think you'll get it made in time?
Oh, when I put my mind to something, it gets done. I had to think about some other things, too.
Plenty of salves and sauce, eh?
It's going to be a wedding breakfast, not one of those half-baked affairs.
Better not be half-baked.
Oh, get away with you.
I'm sure it'll be terrific, whatever it is. I've got to go and earn some more money.
Bye.
See ya.
Well, what do you think we should start with?
Well, there's this marvellous recipe for prawns. It's a cold dish.
Is this for dinner?
No, Rosie's been planning the wedding breakfast.
Oh. Now, I'm afraid you've been wasting your time, Rosie. I contacted a friend last night, and with any luck, we're going to have the best caterers in Sydney. Cost a fortune, of course, but it'll be worth every cent. It was lucky I had the contact. They're normally booked up for months.
Oh. Well, I suppose the cake will take me long enough.
Oh, no, they do all of that. It'd be much better if you kept out of it, Rosie.
That wasn't necessary, Mother. She's been up all night planning what to do.
Darling, she's too old to have that much responsibility.
It meant so much to her being a part of it.
We can't let sentimentality interfere. Besides, isn't it much nicer to have Rosie as a guest rather than as a servant?
Didn't think of it like that.
I did.
I'll go and have a talk to her.
It's one of my favourite parts of the garden, too.
Yeah, it's nice.
There aren't many flowers around this time of the year, so I thought I'd decorate around the edges with some winter wattle.
I didn't think there'd be enough out.
Ah, there's wattle in flower every month of the year. And I thought I'd use something else to make it look really terrific, like this. Ah, careful. Could be a bit thorny.
Oh, you're the gardener. I suppose what you choose will be right.
I suppose I should call you Miss Hamilton, if that's the way you feel.
You won't be talking enough for you to call me anything.
Hi.
Hi.
Got home a bit early.
The gardener's been telling me how he's going to decorate the bower for the ceremony. Wattle and something like this.
Oh, great. Should look terrific. Hope there's not too many people with hay fever.
Come on, we better get back inside. The designer will be here for a fitting fairly soon.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be a lot of help there. I'm more interested in the finished product. Hey, seeing as how you're putting so much effort into making the place look great, I reckon you should come to the wedding.
Oh, I don't think so.
Why not? Silly for you to be the odd man out. Besides, I'd be insulted if you didn't.
Well, I don't want to insult you. Yeah, I'd like to come.
Done. Come on, Mother's probably waiting. What'd you do that for?
Why not? He's a nice bloke.
He's an employee. We don't even know him.
Who cares? Besides, I don't go much for this employee bit anyway. He's a bloke just like me. Anyway, there'll be so many people at the wedding, who'll notice Paul.
What do you think, Rob?
Well, I haven't had a lot of experience with wedding dresses. I think I'll pass.
That's the coward's way out. We're going to have to think about your going away outfits, too.
I was going to wear shorts.
Hit him, will you, Angela?
Well, what's wrong with him wearing shorts if he wants to?
Oh, you really are impossible.
I wish the designer would hurry up and come. I can't be bothered waiting around for him all afternoon.
Have you finished with that invitations list? I'll need to advise the caterer about numbers.
Oh, I hope you don't mind. I've added another one. Paul, the gardener. He's a nice bloke and he'll be here anyway.
Oh, fine, fine.
Oh, I asked Mrs. Armstrong. She can't come. She's got something else on.
Oh, pity.
I think I'll go out and get some air. It's a bit stuffy in here. What are all these packing cases for?
They've arrived from Mumbai. I don't know where Rosie is. She's supposed to unpack them. What's the matter with her?
Don't ask me. Nerves?
Miss Hamilton. Hey, I'm sorry about before, but I didn't want an argument with Rob. Don't worry. I will be coming to the wedding.
Oh, you don't have to stay away. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to act the way I did.
I wasn't too polite myself. It's just that I'm not used to people taking such a dislike to me. I don't know what I've done to make you so against me.
I don't dislike you.
Could have fooled me.
I've tried to ignore you because... Well, because I'm getting married in a couple of days' time. If you want to come to the wedding, that's up to you.
Angela.
I'm sorry.
Got nothing to be sorry for.
It was dumb of me not to work it out.
I didn't want you to.
And because the wedding's so close, no wonder you've been freaking.
I'm giving you such a hard time.
What are you going to do?
Depends.
I wouldn't say anything. I like you. And I'd hate you to mess up your wedding on my account.
Yeah.
Besides, Rob's a nice guy. You couldn't do any better. And I'll be leaving soon if that's what's worrying you.
Hey, don't let me drive you away. Just being stupid. This time next week, I won't even remember what the problem was. Can't have Daddy saying I made the gardener quit.
Oh, I shan't be sorry to head home tonight. How about you?
Work has to get done.
Oh, come on, you can be honest with me. We're off duty. Look, I've even loosened my tie.
No, really, I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I like to unwind.
Well, don't lose the knack. Leave that till the morning. How are things with Di?
Good. She's moving into Fiona's.
Stage one. Well, do you think she'll open up to you, even if she does find out anything about Fiona's business?
Working on it.
Don't underestimate her.
I don't. I'm going to ask her to a dinner party at home tomorrow night.
Oh?
Wearing down her resistance. There's someone there who'll make me look really good.
What about your pipe stand?
What do you think? Look good on the desk?
As long as it doesn't encourage you to smoke too much. Is it really necessary to make all this mess?
Rosie's going as fast as she can.
Well, David and Beryl arrive tomorrow. I don't want them thinking that Rob is going to carry Angela over the threshold into a junk shop.
It'll all be in place well before morning.
Good.
Ah, here's a sight for sore eyes.
Ah, we'll have some real soup now.
I hope you're not going to go cluttering up the kitchen with too much old rubbish. The caterers want as much clear bench space as they can get. Yes, Paul?
It's about the job. I'd like to finish up.
Well, nothing wrong, I hope.
No, it's just I'd like to move on.
Are you offering a fair amount of notice?
A week, if that's all right with you.
At least it'll tide us over for the wedding. Fine. Talk to Rosie.
Send it back.
You can't, Angie. Fiona means well, and she's going to be at the wedding.
I don't want her there, and I'm not going to pretend any different.
You're not being fair.
Oh, really? Throw it away. Give it away. I don't care. I just don't want it amongst the others.
It's not Patricia sniping at you. It's Angela up in arms about Fiona. I don't know.
Ripe old state of affairs for your mum and dad to walk into tomorrow.
Could you spare a minute, please, Rosie?
Have to get the lunch dishes done before your guests arrive.
Oh, it won't take you long to stack them in the machine.
Rather do them by hand when I've got the time.
That's got a bit to do with what I wanted to talk to you about, actually. Sit down. It's obvious that you're missing your friends from the Woombai area and the country way of doing things. I doubt if either of us sees your stay here as a permanent arrangement.
I don't know.
Which is why Gordon and I, thought that we might buy you a little cottage in the Woombai area.
Not much use to me with my sister stuck in a nursing home here.
Oh, a unit close to the home, then. It doesn't make any difference to me.
Pretty keen to see the back of me.
After all your years of service, Rosie, I'm simply doing you a small favor.
And yourself a big one. I'm not budging till Mr. Hamilton gives me my marching orders.
We managed perfectly well before you set up camp here. We'll manage just as well after you've gone. I'm offering you an easy out, but if you don't want to take it, that's your bad luck.
Anything else?
You're wasting your time putting up a fight. Gordon kept you on here out of sympathy. It'll soon become obvious to him that you're as out of place here as all the other old junk that was dragged up from Woombai.
Didn't take long to knock those over.
I could have done them.
I don't get nearly enough chance to help out, so don't grumble. Another plate?
Sorry, dreaming.
Worried about Dad? You should have gone with him. Wouldn't have hurt to swallow your pride for a few days.
If it was that simple, love. My visits to the doctor haven't made me any happier.
More complications?
I knew from the start it wasn't going to be easy. To tell you the truth, I'm worried about the flight.
Does Dad know? He didn't say anything.
I haven't told him.
Why not? He's probably gone up to Sydney with the whole wrong idea.
Yes and no. My blood boils every time I think of Patricia getting her own way about the wedding. But your Dad's been so wrapped up in the plans, I didn't feel I could tell him I wasn't the best.
That's crazy.
Maybe. But you should try talking to him. He wanted to be there early for the wedding rehearsal. He's knocked himself out getting enough money to get them a decent wedding present. Anything that didn't fit into the big plans, he didn't want to know.
You'll tell me if you start feeling too bad.
Your father will get what he wants. I'll make that wedding if it kills me. I won't ever let him say I was the one that ruined the day.
Heard the car. Come in. Gordon, David's arrived. Where's Beryl?
Beryl won't be up until the day before the wedding. Look, I won't beat around the bush. She hasn't been the same since it was transferred from Melbourne.
Well, I can understand that.
And when she gets here, she'll want to stay at Fiona's.
It's her choice.
I'm thinking of doing the same.
To be completely honest, I'd prefer it that way, too.
Well, unfortunately, we can't always have things the way we'd like them. It worries me how it's going to look if you and Beryl aren't in the house. Angela, darling, come and tell David that he can't possibly stay with Fiona.
Oh, you wouldn't. I'd hardly see you if you were over at Manly. And besides, I'm looking forward to you being around over the next couple of days. I really need you here.
You can't disappoint her.
And it's ridiculous after you've come all this way.
Looks like I'm outnumbered.
Your room's ready. You can take your bag up whenever you like.
Come on, I'll show you.
About Beryl.
We can both talk to her when she arrives. Everything will be fine.
The others are upstairs, changing.
Thought we were going to be late.
Well, introduce me to your lady friend.
Rosie, Di Miller.
Hi.
Di's Mr. Mason's secretary.
Oh, very nice. Your mother's organised drinks by the pool. Got the flares out. Think she's back in Hawaii.
Thought we'd stay in here with you.
No, don't worry about me. I've got plenty to occupy me just getting the table set.
Something wrong?
Nope.
Sure.
Can't bother a visitor with my whinges. I can go outside if you want to talk.
That's okay. Rosie, out with it.
Well, I've been thinking. It's time I got a place of my own, somewhere nearer my sister.
You're kidding. The whole house would fall down around our ears if you weren't here.
Not according to some.
No? We'll see about that.
I don't want any fuss.
All right. But you're staying put. First chance we get, I'm taking you down to Rob's car yard. Getting you a little runabout of your own.
What good would that do?
Make getting to see your sister a lot easier. And it'll help me keep you here, where you belong.
I don't know what to say.
We'll get our drinks. Let the others know we're waiting for them.
And people tried to tell me I spoiled him as a kid.
Okay.
Let me...
We should fill in the butt when you make out a check.
Oh, nothing's bounced, has it?
No, but the accountant gets stroppy.
I'll change him. It was a joke. Oh, you're not going to be in a sour mood all night, are you?
Can't say I'm thrilled about the prospect.
You mustn't let David being here put you off. For one thing, you'll see that there's absolutely no personal feelings left between him and me.
You're pretty keen to have him here.
I'd be just as keen if Beryl was with him. I thought you'd understand. It's just like you and Barbara. We're adult enough to know that a thing has run its course. I count myself very lucky. I nearly lost you. Being given a second chance. I was very angry at myself for running the risk. It's probably why I behaved so badly towards Barbara.
You will make the effort to be pleasant to her if you run into her socially.
The same as I hope you will with David, yes. This looks good in your study. This is the only room in the house where the things from Mumbai seem to fit in comfortably. It's nice that you've got a few of them around you to remember those years by. We'll be ready for the first course in about half an hour or so. Has the red wine been decanted?
Just like you asked.
Good. What's this tureen doing out?
I'll be taking it into the kitchen in a minute.
I didn't ask for a soup course.
Oh, but Gordon did, seeing as now I've got my old stock pot back. It's not ready for the scrap heap any more than I am.
You can take it with you when you leave, then.
Oh, that's another thing. I won't be going. Gordon and Wayne have made it pretty clear they want me to stay. Apart from a sister, they're the closest I've got to family, and as long as they want me, I'm not budging.
Really? Don't underestimate my chances of changing Gordon's mind about you.
Like you did about Mrs. Armstrong? He's got too many brains to fall for your tricks all the time.
And I thought you had enough to clear out gracefully. I was prepared to help you with a comfortable income and a place to live, but if you want to kick up a fuss, I'll make sure that you leave here with nowhere to go and no one to look after you and not a penny to your name. It's up to you.
You might get your way in the end. But don't expect me to make it easy for you. I'm staying as long as there's a chance Gordon will wake up to you. And I'll be doing everything I can to make sure he does.
Morning. Hope you enjoyed yourself last night.
I did, actually.
Don't have to sound so surprised.
I didn't know what to expect.
Have to do it again sometime.
Let's not get carried away.
Not as bad as you think, you know.
Suppose you have got some good points. See how we go, eh?
Hope Wayne treats her better than he did Jill.
She's not his girlfriend, Rosie.
Yeah, he must have been keen on her to ask her home. He could do a lot worse.
You and your matchmaking?
Do him good to settle down.
Who's settling down?
Oh, Rosie's already got Wayne married off to Di Miller.
Oh, one wedding at a time, thank you. Whoever Wayne marries, I hope it won't be for a while yet. I'll have 2 boiled eggs, thank you. You know how I like them done.
What have you done now?
Oh, you know, Rosie, whenever she gets overworked, she has to take it out on somebody. Don't let me forget to put Di Miller's name on the guest list.
Yeah, I was surprised when you asked her.
Well, she's a nice girl. I thought Wayne would like it.
You're as bad as Rosie. Just more subtle about it.
Of course I am, darling. David and John up yet?
Oh, they went for a walk.
Well, I hope they're not going to be too long. The minister will be here for the rehearsal soon.
Rob's the worry. We had a call from work. He had to go in.
He's coming back.
He knows I'll kill him if he doesn't.
G'day.
Hi, Jill.
Excited?
Sort of.
Oh, he's got used to it.
3rd wedding this year.
Oh, right. Did you take the day off work?
Oh, just the morning. Hope it doesn't take long. Got a desk full of stuff to get through.
Oh, well, you two might as well go ahead. I've got some stuff to bring in.
Oh, give your hand. See you inside, Dad.
Sure.
You can take the bag and I'll take the dress. Thought it might be easy if I brought them over today. What do you think?
Great. Now, look good, isn't it? It was just a compliment. Nothing wrong with that. I don't want to apologise for everything I say. You've said how you want it. Fine by me.
Okay, I'm sorry. Have I got Wayne to worry about?
He's at work, giving everyone there a hard time.
Pretty sure I scored a few points. Rosie thinks the sun shines out of me.
Di's nobody's fool.
Rosie's the sort anyone would believe.
And how did you manage to con her? Well, from what you've said, the rest of the household aren't too keen on you.
Rosie's related to my dad's first wife. She always finds excuses for the things I do.
I know the type. John in yet?
He's asked for the morning off. Wedding rehearsal.
He'd better be ready for work when he gets here. I found about 5 errors in this report. I hope his good work wasn't just a flash in the pan.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's bummed around from job to job till now. I think he's the type that gets bored pretty quickly.
Well, if he keeps up this sort of work, he'll be out on his ear, quick smart, no matter who his mother is. When he gets here, you tell him I want to see him.
Will do.
He's supposed to be here for a wedding rehearsal.
Sorry, Mrs. Hamilton. He's delivering a car to a client.
How long's that going to take?
Oh, he should be back any minute.
It doesn't really do us much good. Everybody's here waiting for him.
He was the only one available to do it. I'll get him to call you when he gets in.
Yes, you do that. I'd say it'll be at least another hour.
Oh, I won't be able to stay. This morning was a favour from my boss. Can't be any later than 12. The minister's looking pretty impatient too.
We'll just have to go ahead and I'll tell Rob what to do later. I'll be out in a minute. Would you let them know? He on his way?
Nope.
I'd appreciate it, Rosie, if you didn't leave the table half full of breakfast things for most of the morning.
I've only got 1 pair of hands.
I'll just have to talk to Gordon about employing somebody who has 2, then. Paul, could you leave that for a moment? I need you around the back.
Couldn't do that. Rob's tied up. Patricia reckons we should go ahead.
What's wrong, did he say?
Work.
Oh, I don't believe him.
It must be important, love. We wouldn't miss it otherwise.
John made the effort to be here, and he's only the best man.
It's not going to help getting head up about it.
All I'm saying is, no matter what the situation, this should have come first.
It's all right, Daddy. I'll give him hell when he gets home, though.
Well, if you could all take the places I assigned you, perhaps we can get started.
I'm sorry, Reverend Stevens. I know you're very busy.
That's all right, Mrs. Hamilton. This sort of thing happens quite often.
Well, I found somebody to stand in for the groom. You don't mind, do you, Paul?
No. No, of course I don't.
Good. Well, let's get on with it.
And the groom says, with this ring I thee wed. The best man steps back a few paces. Now, if you give me the response, please.
With this ring I thee wed.
Etc., etc. You are exchanging the service of rings, are you? Are you going to place a ring on your husband's finger?
Oh, yes, yes, I am.
Fine. Then you repeat the exact words. I then pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss the bride, etc., etc. Then the parents of both parties, the bridesmaid, best man, the bride and groom, we retire to sign the register. Oh, where exactly will you be setting that up?
We'll set up a small table inside the marquee.
Oh, fine. That's about it then. Oh, except for the choice of music.
Do you mind discussing that, Mother? I'm not feeling too well.
Nothing serious.
No, just nerves. Thank you, Reverend Stevens.
I don't blame her. She's obviously upset at Rob not turning up.
Give it a rest, Gordon.
Probably is just nerves. Would you mind seeing that she's all right, Jill?
Sure.
I'd better get to work.
All right. Thank you, darling. Thank you, too, Paul. I thought seeing it was an outside wedding, I wouldn't bother with any music. Is that all right with you, darling?
Know how it feels now, mate?
Yeah. I won't have to worry about it for a while.
Better make a move or I'll get scalped.
Fine.
David?
A bit unusual.
Oh, not necessarily. Not for an outdoor wedding. Oh, thought I heard his voice.
He said he'll wait for Angie to get up before he talks to her.
Oh, good idea.
I'll go ahead and select one of the cars. Going out to see Fiona.
Going to have a little bitch session, are we?
She's a friend, Pat. I like visiting her.
I'm sure you do.
Look, you pushed to have the wedding up here. I'm doing my damnedest to make it work, so don't start sniping at me.
I'm merely stating facts. I can't imagine you and Fiona getting together for a little chat without my name coming up.
There are better things to talk about, Pat.
I mean?
Yes, I'm sorry. I've had a few personal problems lately.
Well, leave them at home in future. I don't take that as an excuse.
I wasn't trying to make excuses.
I'm just trying to point out your mistakes, that's all. Well, they won't happen again, will they?
No.
Good. Well, that's it then.
Thank you, Mr. Mason.
Oh, there is one more thing. Anything you learn here is confidential. When you found out your mother is on the board, you should have come to me, not gone home with the news.
It was to do with my family.
That's just my point. It wasn't. Not until it was cleared through me. No matter who's concerned, it's confidential until I say otherwise. Fair enough?
If anything concerns my...
Fair enough. Oh, if it concerns you, you can always discuss it with me.
Don't worry, I will.
Doesn't sound too good.
I bet you're cut up about it.
Not really. You're making it nice and easy for me. Make sure you get the boot.
Man.
Not too good, eh?
No, it's my own stupid fault. Worrying too much about my love life and not enough about work.
You better snap out of it. Mr. Mason's not the sort to put up with too many mistakes.
Already figured it out. I'll be right. Oh, if you need a hand moving into Fiona's, just yell, okay?
No, I don't think I will.
Never can tell.
If I do, you'll be the first to know.
It's my day for confused young men. Come on in. We've got some talking to do.
I really expected to get it in the neck, you know.
Who cares about the rehearsal as long as you make it to the real thing?
A lot of other girls would go through the roof.
Why get miserable over something that couldn't be helped?
So smile.
I love you so much. You know that, don't you?
Yes, I do. Hey, Day after tomorrow is going to be the happiest day of my life. I hope it will be for you too.
Of course it will.
You should have seen Angela this morning.
It was just bad luck. Normally you could keep out of her way.
I could feel how mixed up she is about it. And my hanging around isn't making anything easier.
Have you decided about Patricia yet?
Oh, of course I haven't. The main problem...
The reason you went there was to make up your mind about Patricia. Now, you've got to do that. If you choose an everyday life over religion, you're choosing Ramberg, the money, me, Patricia, the lot. Now, it's important that you get your feelings clear on that, rather than worry about some silly crush of Angela's. The girl will be married in 2 days' time. Give her a few weeks and she will have forgotten it ever happened. Your worry now is what you're going to do with the rest of your life. So why don't you take back your notice and start doing what you should have done in the first place? Get to know about Patricia Hamilton. It's what James would have wanted.
Took a fair bit of talking, but I finally got her to agree in the end.
Well, you could have cancelled. I wouldn't have minded. Oh, thanks very much anyway.
At least you don't have to worry about where you're going to throw a bucks night. Can just see you girls doing a pub crawl.
Who's doing a pub crawl?
Oh, it's just Rob being stupid. Joe had a hassle with the room at the restaurant, so we're having the shower tea at Mrs. Armstrong's now. Have to ring around, let everyone know.
Barbara's agreed to it.
Had to do a bit of talking, but yeah.
Oh, that's nice of her. I'm glad I can come now.
I thought you couldn't make it.
David just told me about the Bucks night. He certainly won't be needing any company, so couldn't have worked out better.
Love is very strange.
So, if she can't spend the night with her ex-lover, she'll spend it tormenting her husband's friend, who is never really his lover at all. I'm not convinced that Barbara's house is really that great, whatever Jill says. Her living room is pretty ordinary, and it's got a breeze block wall. Take a look when they have that hen night or shower tea. And all organised by Jill, the traditionalist from way back, as Fiona calls her. Maybe that accounts for the oldest profession. So that's another young couple with a baby on the way coming to stay at Fiona's. It's a regular Bethlehem, that guest house. And Wayne's job. Donna Farmer, who describes herself as Wayne's #1 fan, reckons he started as a stamp and envelope licker, and now that he's had a promotion, he's allowed to address them too. She also thinks toilet cleaning would be at about his level, and maybe he could be a footstool for Di Miller. He's keen enough to become her lapdog. There's more stuff on page 391. I'll try and update that today, and see you tomorrow.